I've been using the HP Spectre X2 2017 for the past couple of weeks now, and it's become one of my favorite 2-in-1s, perhaps my favorite of all time, but it's not perfect. Hey everyone, this is Andrew, and this is my review of the HP Spectre X2 2017. Now let's get something out of the way. This is more expensive than last year's model. Because it definitely gives you more for your money, I think it's worth it. It's improved in almost every aspect. You get the Intel Core i7-7560 CPU, not something you see every day. You also get 8 GB of RAM, along with 256 GB of PCIe NVMe SSD storage. You get the Intel Iris Plus Graphics 650, and you get Bang & Olufsen speakers to make this one attractive package. Of course, it's only natural to compare this to the new Surface Pro that Microsoft just released, because you're getting more for your money, in my opinion, with this device. You're getting the pen and the keyboard included in the price, something you'd have to buy as separate accessories for the new Surface Pro, making this a more affordable package. And you get a higher resolution display. Now this sports a 12.3-inch IPS touch display with a resolution of 3000 by 2000. That's 293 pixels per inch, and it gets bright at 400 nits. The blacks are very deep, the colors are very vibrant, and just seem to pop off the screen. Really good display. Now, if there's only one potential negative, it might be the fact that it has a somewhat thick bezel, certainly not very thick, and they're not a deal breaker, but they're not the thinnest bezels I've seen as of late. And you get the HP Active Pen in the box. It uses the n-trig pen technology and has 1024 levels of pressure sensitivity. I mistakenly said it had 2048 levels of pressure sensitivity in the unboxing video. No, it only has 1024, which is akin to the last gen Surface Pen. Now be aware that the new Surface Pen that Microsoft just released has 4096 levels of pressure sensitivity, which is much better. But the fact that they include this in the box along with the keyboard at no additional cost, to me, is a real benefit. Good job HP in making that decision. The pen worked really well for note-taking, and certainly sketching and artwork worked well. Digital artists and note-takers will like this pen, even though it's not quite as good as the new Surface Pen. One of the best features of this 2-in-1 is its keyboard. It comes in the box, it's included in the price point, it's very sturdy, it's all metal, there's no fabric like you get with the Alcantara on the Surface keyboard. This is really good, and I like the fact that it has very good key travel at 1.5 millimeters. It's very comfortable to type on. Its island style, chiclet style keys are really excellent, and I like the fact that it has a backlighting. It worked really well. Now, as far as the trackpad is concerned, it uses a Synaptics trackpad. It's glass, it feels comfortable, but I think I would have preferred a precision touchpad, as that gets a little bit more responsiveness. Now, as far as two-finger scrolling, it works. Windows 10 gestures work as advertised. Overall, I'd have to say that the touchpad is okay. The Spectre X2 comes in at 1.68 pounds as a tablet only, and 2.49 pounds with the tablet and keyboard together. Now it's very thin at 0.52 inches thick. I think this is one of the thinnest and lightest, really premium design 2-in-1s I've seen in a very long time. I really like its color as well. The ash silver with the copper gold accents, really nice look. And they really improved the kickstand on this model. Gone is the ejection button you needed to activate the keyboard. Now you just have a nice latch where you can pull it out, and it comes down to about 165 degrees, comparable to that of the Surface Pro. As far as ports are concerned, here's what you get. On the left side of the device, you get a 3.5mm headset jack, and below that is your micro SD card slot for storage expansion. And below that is one of your two USB Type-C ports. Unfortunately, neither is Thunderbolt 3. So you can forget about connecting to an external GPU. And on the other side of the device, you have your volume rocker up and down, and your second USB Type-C port, again not Thunderbolt 3, which is a bit of a disappointment. And on the top of the device, you find your power button along with a cooling vent. I like the fact that you get a good port selection on this 2-in-1. I think it's a little bit better than the Surface Pro, which has a proprietary charging mechanism. Here you do have the USB Type-C, something you don't get on that Surface Pro. So I think that's a plus with the HP Spectre X2. The Spectre X2 sports two front-facing speakers and they're Bang & Olufsen branded. Let's hear them in action. I really like these speakers. They are much improved over the last generation X2. The mids are pretty good, the bass is okay, and the volume gets pretty loud. Overall, I'd say these are one of the better 2-in-1 speakers you'll get. The Spectre X2 has a 5 megapixel front-facing webcam that's Windows Hello compatible and work really well. Now let's see it in action. So this is the webcam on the HP Spectre X2 2017, and actually it shoots 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames per second, and it's actually pretty good. It's actually one of the better 2-in-1 webcams I've seen in a while. I actually really like it. I don't know about other people, but I think this is pretty good. This will definitely be very good for Skype and for any kind of video conferencing when you need it. Now this is what it sounds like with the keyboard when you're typing on a Skype conversation. This is what it sounds like. So this has been the webcam on the HP Spectre X2 2017. And it has a rear-facing 13 megapixel camera. It's actually one of the better cameras you'll find on a 2-in-1, although I wouldn't be taking too many pictures with a tablet or a 2-in-1 to begin with. But if you had to use it, it's certainly pretty good. So this is the rear-facing camera. It shoots 1080p 60 frames per second, and I'm in a low light situation actually, and I think it shoots a pretty decent video and not bad for a 2-in-1. Again, I wouldn't be using a 2-in-1 really to do too many photos or videos, but I have to say this isn't too bad. Even the photos look pretty decent. Not bad for a 2-in-1. Again, not as good as your smartphone and not good as a dedicated camera. If you watched my unboxing, you know concern was battery life, as I was seeing about 6 to 6.5 hours in my first couple of days of use. Well, I can report that's about accurate, maybe even a little less, since I've used it for the past couple of weeks. If you do Netflix, YouTube, light gaming, some light Photoshop, and some web browsing under the Edge browser, you're looking at around 6 to 6.5 hours at best. If you push it a little bit harder, doing some more Photoshop, some video editing, it's going to go down to about 3 to 4 hours at most. Now, wanting to see other sources as far as battery life is concerned, Laptop Mag only got 5 hours and 1 minute, well below the category average of 8 hours and 33 minutes. Not very good. But the good news is that this has HP Quick Charge, and this will charge 50% in about 30 minutes, and I found that to be pretty accurate. While having better battery life would have been more ideal, this certainly alleviates the problem somewhat, but not totally. It runs Windows 10 Home, and it does have 8 gigabytes of RAM. There is a 16 gigabyte option if you choose to go that route. It did a 7835 on the multi-core score of the Geekbench 4 test and did a 4379 on the single-core score. Pretty good. Its built-in graphics, the Iris Plus Graphics 640, did 16,678 on the OpenCL score of the Geekbench 4 test. The HP Spectre X2 uses a Samsung PCIe NVMe SSD for storage. It's 256 gigabytes in capacity, of which about 197 gigabytes are available to the user. Now, there is a recovery partition of about 1.31 gigabytes. Now, here's how it did on the Crystal Disk Mark scores. Really good. It did a 3279 on the read and a very good 1406 on the write. Some of the best read and write speeds I've seen on any 2-in-1 as of late. And for you gamers out there, here's how it did on the CloudGate 3D Mark score. It did a 6476. And it did a 29,021 on the Ice Storm Extreme test, not bad. And it scored an 806 on the Firestrike test. The bottom line is, this is not a dedicated gaming machine. This is not a serious gaming machine. This is a portable 2-in-1 that's not meant for that kind of heavy load. And if you really push it, it will get hot, although it won't throttle like it would on the Surface Pro. Now, if you do push this unit, it will get hot on the back at around 94 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit if you really push it pretty hard. Now, if you go extreme, it will go even higher. Now, power throttling will not occur until you really push this CPU, and it can get up to about 127 degrees Fahrenheit. And the fan, of course, will kick in under heavy load, but it's not a very loud fan. At about 40 decibels, it's pretty quiet. That's pretty good. The Spectre X2 has dual band wireless AC 8265 and it has Bluetooth 4.2. The range on both is excellent and it worked flawlessly. And of course, it is worth mentioning how much you will save if you compare the HP Spectre X2 against the Surface Pro 2017, a nearly $600 savings when you compare similar models. And you save that money because you get the pen and the keyboard in the box at that price with the HP Spectre X2, not something you get with the new Surface Pro. So at the end of the day, can I recommend the HP Spectre X2 2017? And the answer is absolutely. This is a great value, especially if you consider the fact they throw the pen and the keyboard in the box at this price point. Something you'd have to buy as separate accessories for the Surface Pro, and that's a savings of about $600 for a similarly priced model if you're considering the Surface Pro 2017. That's why I think this is a great value. But of course, it's not perfect. But first, here's what I like. I really like its beautiful design. I love its excellent build quality. I love its high resolution display with a resolution of 3000 by 2000, higher than the Surface Pro. I like its keyboard and I like its active pen, even though it's a step behind the new Surface Pen that Microsoft just released. And it has the better typing experience over the Surface Pro, in my opinion. I like the fact the keyboard is metal, not using some fabric as Microsoft uses with the Alcantara. And I like the fact that it has two USB Type-C ports, something that is missing on the Surface Pro line. And probably one of the best things I like about it is its value when you compare it to the competition. It comes in at a lower price when all is said and done, with the keyboard and the pen included in the price point. But of course, as with any device, there are going to be things that need improvement. And here's my take on where I think HP can do better the next time. Now, I think the trackpad is okay, certainly pretty good, but not as good as a precision touchpad. I think HP would have been better off going with precision over the Synaptics that they used. Now, I'm not crazy about its average battery life. You're looking at around 6 to 6.5 hours, certainly a couple of hours less than the new Surface Pro 2017, something I wish was a little bit better. And the fact that you don't get Thunderbolt 3, even though you do get two USB Type-C ports, which I appreciate, something the Surface Pro doesn't have, you still don't get the Thunderbolt 3, something I would have liked to have seen on this device. I really think the HP Spectre X2 2017 is a big improvement over its predecessor, and I think it's a great value when you compare it to the current competition out there today. That's why I'm going to give it the AMDtech Editor's Choice Award for the 2-in-1 category here in 2017 so far, because I think this checks all the boxes that you'd want, although there is room for improvement with better battery life, hopefully in the next iteration. So what do you think about the HP Spectre X2 2017? I really like it. I think it's one of my favorite 2-in-1s so far, 2017, perhaps of all time. I love its looks. I like its build quality, gorgeous display, 3:2 aspect ratio, which as you know, I'm a big fan of. I like the fact that it comes in at a cheaper price than its chief competitor, the new Microsoft Surface Pro, which is about $600 more than a similarly spec'd HP Spectre X2. What do you think about the price? Let me know in the comment section below. At this price point, I like the fact that they give you the pen, they give you the keyboard. Now, keep in mind, the pen will not be as good as the new Surface Pen, which has 4096 levels of pressure sensitivity. This is more akin to the previous gen Surface Pen at 1024 levels of pressure sensitivity. But nonetheless, it works fine for note-taking, sketching, digital artist. I think you'll be okay. As far as a 2-in-1, it's light, it's thin, it really is portable. I really like it. There's very little not to like about this device. Now, the battery life certainly will be an issue for some. 6 to 7 hours at most. I got 6 to 6.5 hours. Again, it depends on your usage, so please keep that in mind. But you're going to even get further battery hit if you do any gaming on it, if you're going to do any more processor intensive tasks. So that's something else to keep in mind when you're looking at battery life on this device. But really, there are no other negatives. I like the speaker. I like everything about this device. I like its kickstand. The fact that it now goes to 165 degrees, just like the Surface Pro. I think it really competes on every level. It's certainly a much improved device over its predecessor, the one that came out last year and the one that I reviewed. And I think this one really takes the cake, earning my AMDtech Editor's Choice Award for that 2-in-1 category. Now, I have had a brief time with the new Surface Pro. I really like it. I will be doing a review coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. So far, I'm liking this Spectre X2. I like its price to performance value, and I like the fact that it is $600 less than the similarly spec'd Surface Pro. But again, I want to know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section below. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and of course our website, AMDtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMDtech. See ya.